Welcome to Trainz!
Hey there friends, and welcome to Trainz.com. My name is Kevin, and today we're going to take a look at just how little time you need to enjoy your model trains. So to help in this, put a timer graphic up on the screen. I don't know if he's going to have it here, or... Haha, very funny. If we could, please, let's put it down in the corner. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get the clock started. Ready? Here we go. Wow, what an enjoyable train set. All right, that's it. That's the episode. Have a great day. All right, let's do it for real now. Okay. Timer ready? Here we go. So today, we're going to take a look at this Percy and the Troublesome Trucks N-Scale electric train set. With it being a train set, it has everything you need in the box. So it's got track, it's got power control, locomotive, rolling stock, the whole 9 yards. And open her up. Let's see, we got our transformer or throttle, however you want to call it. I think the Lionel guys call it transformer. But if you're a DC guy, you probably call it the throttle. Or if you're really cool, call it the throttle. We've got the power pack to plug it into the wall. Very important. And then we got some track. So let's take these out of the box. Now, for many folks, Thomas the Tank Engine was probably your first introduction to the world of trains. And it's a great introduction. You know, the Reverend Audrey, when he wrote the books, the originals, they were steeped in real railroad operations, how things were really done. A lot of the storylines were based on actual events that happened. So they had realism to them. Even though the locomotives could talk and have opinions and stuff, there was still an element of realism to it that I think people really enjoyed. Look at this guy. So this little locomotive that's just about as long as a knuckle. Yeah, look at that. It's like a hummingbird. So this is Percy. He's an 040 saddle tank engine. And he first appeared in 1950 in a short story called Trouble in the Shed. His first TV appearance was in 1984 in an episode also titled Trouble in the Shed. Essentially, all the big fancy tender engines like Gordon, Henry, James, they didn't want to go and fetch their own coaches. Now, one of the things I love about train sets like this is they come with snap track. And what that is, you have the track itself, the rails, on top of little sleepers, and they're cast on this plastic which is made to look like ballast. But all they do is they just clip together. If you've ever used G-scale track, with a lot of those you have to fasten them together with a special plastic clip. Yeah, so if you don't get it quite aligned right, maybe you can see this in the camera, you'll have one of the rails will be a little elevated, and especially on N scale and smaller scales, your locomotive might hit that and stall out, it might stop, it might derail, so you just have to take it apart and put it back together again. Nice and careful so that it's all joined nice and smooth. So we have our power pack now, it's plugged into the wall, and the other end is just a nice little friction fit. Now this particular one, the track power connector piece, is also a Rerailer. So if you're having trouble getting little teeny tiny wheels on your track, you can just kind of run this through Let's go ahead and give him a little juice. Now, this guy here, we call it P12576444. That's our SKU number at Trainz, but Bachmann calls it the 24030 Percy and the Troublesome Trucks N-Gauge Electric Starter Set. And at time of filming, it's $129.50. You know, there have been many times in the past where I've had a rough day at work and I come home and I've got a little Trainz set up and just let it run in a circle for a while. There's something soothing about the click-clack of it going over the tracks. And you know, it's a heck of a lot cheaper than going to therapy. A lot easier too. So if your significant other ever gets on you about how much you're spending on the model railroad hobby, you tell them, hey, it's therapy. You know, file it under medical expenses. It's cheap at twice the price. Let's see. How fast you can go. How fast can you go? Well, with those tiny little wheels, Percy is not going to be setting any speed records, unfortunately. I know a lot of people see those huge layouts that fill an entire basement, you know, that have the scenery that's photorealistic, and you think, man, I'll never get there. I don't have the space, I don't have the time, I don't have the money. Maybe that's true, but you really don't need much to just have a good time playing with Trainz. All right, well, that about wraps it up for this week. Now, I have been reminded that I need to start saying things like our channel, subscribe to our channel, comment on the video, stuff like that. Apparently it's good for the YouTube algorithm. I don't know, I'm just a guy that likes Trainz and I like to talk about them. So until we see you next week, have a good one and keep your tracks clean.
Trainz.com, making dreams come true, one train at a time.